Hey guys, so we all know that confidence is a critical component to building a fulfilling and successful life. Because once you have the confidence, it's really the catalyst for you going out into the world and being bold and creating what you want to create and going after the things that you want. But the problem is that the way that we're looking at confidence and the advice we're getting on how to build confidence is broken. It's a lopsided model. We're focused too much on the outside in instead of the inside out. And so what I want to do is show you why the confidence model is broken, point out the biggest obstacles, help you redefine confidence, and then give you a very clear step-by-step protocol and maybe 2 or 3 steps that helps you build more confidence in your life. That's not domain specific, it's ubiquitous in every area of your life, almost like on demand. So what is the biggest problem I see with confidence? Really 2 issues. The model that we use for confidence is the outside in, meaning if you want to get more confident, figure out what you want to get more confident at, hammer away at it and get really good at it so that maybe some of that confidence seeps into your bones and you become more confident. Well, the problem with that is that when you solely focus on just getting really good at something, yes, that's helpful, but it helps you become competent and it's domain specific and it doesn't bleed into other areas of life. The way I look at it is it's really like a band-aid that you're slapping on something to hide up all these insecurities that are living deeper inside of you. For example, look at all these Navy SEALs or maybe military vets who are really good at these specific skills. They're some of the hardest people you could imagine, but then they get reintroduced to civilian life and they struggle with their mental health. They struggle building good relationships. They struggle taking care of themselves, right? That's not the confidence that they need to be successful. They built all these skills, but they don't translate into confidence in other areas. Or maybe look at these business bros who are really good at the science of making money, but then they terribly struggle with connecting with their children, building quality friendships and relationships, and taking care of their physical health. So domain-specific competence does not necessarily lead to confidence, and that's why the outside-in model is a little bit outdated. I've experienced this in my own life where I got really good at running and I was really confident in my ability to run, but I completely struggled in my confidence in my own business because all of these things I was building was just slapping a band-aid on this deeper internal insecurity that I was trying to mask. The second problem with this outside-in model of confidence is that it's incomplete in the sense that if I'm struggling with self-doubt, you're probably stuck in what I call the lack of self-doubt loop, and it looks like this. You're lacking confidence, so you struggle with emotions like anxiety, self-doubt, indecisiveness, and that leads into behavioral stuckness, which looks like avoiding any situation where it might be fear-inducing, or withdrawing or avoiding any situation where I might be exposed to failure. And that leads to this belief system about who I am, the world around me, and what I'm capable of. And that's a vicious cycle that you get stuck in that just drags you down deeper like a vortex. And so if you're dealing with that and somebody says, hey dude, just go do this thing and get more confident, because if you do things, you'll get more confident. You're like, well, duh, but I can't even get an emotion. I have no motivation. I'm completely depressed and I can't get out of my own head. And so it's not really effective at helping you really get started. And so what I want to help you do is get out of this cycle or this old kind of model of confidence and really help you have confidence on demand. Like, you know how you go on on-demand TV and all your favorite shows are there that you can watch at any time? I like Jeopardy and Survivor, and so I can log on anytime and view them. That's the confidence I want to give you. And the way that confidence feels is like completely unchained. Confidence isn't your ability to do something, it's this lack of inhibition to go towards the thing that you want to create. And so I want to unchain you and give you confidence on demand. So how do we go about doing that? First thing we need to do is we need to redefine confidence. It's really easy to think that you're bad at something and not have fun doing it when you're playing the wrong game. If I gave you a Tetris directions to a chessboard, you'd be completely confused, think that you suck, and then not have any fun playing it because you can never win. So we need to redefine confidence. What is true confidence? True confidence comes from the Latin word confidere, which means intense trust. So confidence is intense trust. Intense trust in what? Not that everything's going to go okay and that you're never going to face failure or setback. It's intense trust that no matter what happens, I will be okay. Intense trust in your ability to take care of yourself no matter what happens. And so it's really important to understand that. Now, you might say, how am I going to be okay in the face of failure? Well, you need to understand what you're thinking or perceiving that you're going to lack in the face of failure. Well, all human beings only want 3 things. Everything you do is an attempt to feel a certain way, and you're trying to get these 3 things. I don't care how macho of a man you are or how tough you are as a person. We all want love, safety, and belonging. And so if I'm lacking confidence, there's a part of me who's predicting that if I go out there and do the thing and I fail, I'm going to have a lack of love, safety, and belonging. And so my lack of trust comes from my inability or my perception that when I go out there and do the thing, I'm going to lose one of these three ingredients. Okay? So your ability to be confident is your ability to trust that no matter what happens, good or bad, you will not lose access to love, safety, and belonging, and create an internal environment where no matter what happens, you will be okay. Even in the face of getting a drink thrown on you if you go and approach somebody at the bar, or even in the face of launching a business idea and having everybody ridicule you, you will not lose access to love, safety, and belonging. That's what true confidence is. It's trusting that no matter what happens, you will be okay, and you can still get to where you want to go regardless of the outcome. So that's the new game of confidence that we're playing. And it's a learnable skill that the better you get at it, the more confidence you get and the more fun the game is to play. So how do we codify this and make this something that we can all approach? Well, there's maybe 2 or 3 things that I want to talk about. The very first step into building confidence and building this meta skill of being okay in the face of failure is first and foremost targeted thinking. What do I want and what do I need to do? In any situation, you need to understand where am I going and what's the pathway to getting there. So let's use me as an example. I want to build a business that impacts 1 million people and makes me $50,000 a month, right? That's my 90-day goal, let's say, hypothetically. So I know that I need to go launch this business program that's going to help bring me people, serve them, and make me money. Well, the pathway to doing that might be reaching out to people, cold calling people, advertising, putting out Instagram content. So that's the very first thing I need to understand. Where am I going and what do I need to do? The second component to this is understanding the places internally that I'm stuck. I call this soothing the wound. So when you think about going and taking that big action to get to the goal that you want, what are the parts that come up that are completely fearful, that are doubting yourself, that are telling you that it's not possible? For me, those deep wounds are, if I put those things out there, people are going to think that they're not good, or they're going to judge me, or I'm not going to get people results, and that's going to mean something about me. So soothing the wound is finding the part of you that gets activated in the face of the action and building a relationship with it. My biggest thing is anxiety. I have all this anxiety about me not being good enough, about me not being okay when I launch this product, and so I procrastinate. I avoid and I wait until I know enough information for it to be good. When I build a relationship with that part of me who's anxious and worried about not being enough, and helping him understand that even in the face of failure, I'll still have access to love, safety, and belonging, and those are not external tools that I get from other people. Those are things that I build within myself and give to myself. When I can build that capacity, which is really the meta skill that we need to build confidence, I'm indestructible. Nobody can touch me because I don't give a crap anymore about how the outside world treats me or what they're going to think about me. I know that no matter what I do, I can still have access to those things within myself. So once we identify the part and soothe the wound, now we have a better relationship and understanding of what we're truly afraid of, and then we can build the meta skill. And the meta skill is just knowing the game that we're playing, which is creating an environment that allows me access to the things that I'm afraid of missing through little repeatable actions, right? And so my new goal is to go out and do things that seem a little bit scary and practice the skill of being okay even if I don't feel like things are going well. Because as you develop that meta skill of doing a little bit of a dangerous thing, soothing the wound, and taking care of yourself, you build this ecosystem of trust that is no longer dependent on the outside world and is completely fulfilled and loving and warm, even in the face of failure. Then you fall in love with failure and you fall in love with winning if you're successful, and it creates this perpetual loop of you building more capacity to do things regardless of how things matriculate in the outside world. And that's a flex. That's like the most hardcore thing I can think of. And then the final component of this is building compassion. So you're not going to be right all the time. You will have failures, but you need to be compassionate towards yourself as you make these mistakes by understanding you're not perfect. You will never be perfect. There's never been a perfect human being. Everybody fails. And that to be more mindful of when you fail, what you did wrong, and how to get better from it, right? Because when you build the meta tool of self-compassion, you further create this environment where it's okay to fail. You're not going to lose access to love, safety, and belonging because that's a thing that you can give yourself. And then it just creates this abundance of taking big, bold action, winning or learning, and then going after bigger and bigger things, okay? So that's my model for building more confidence. It's not the outside-in model. It's the inside out model that really allows you to create on-demand confidence that completely unchains you to take big, bold action. And so if you like this video, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel so you can learn more stuff like this. And I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments. So let me know what you think.